This was probably the biggest cake that I've ever made. And apart from the cake, there were some more bits which made it a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to tell you about those in a little while. So I made a giant snow globe cake this year for Christmas. And this is the gingerbread house, which is one of the elements which sat inside. I tried to make as much of everything out of actual cake as I possibly could, because I know you guys really like it when I do that. So that was the gingerbread house. Here I am making a tree, which when it was on the bench was too tall for me to even work on. So I had to stand on some ladders. And yep, see, really tall. Next up, I am putting modelling chocolate all over the gingerbread house. I wanted this to look almost cartoony. So I used some tin foil to make some texture on the gingerbread. And you can see the edges are slightly burnt looking. I actually took a blowtorch and put it on there, and it made it look almost like the gingerbread was cooked. And then I made all of these extra little details. I was just going to buy sweets to put on the gingerbread house, but because it was so big, there wasn't any sweets that would have been big enough to go on there, so I had to make those myself. So these are some little modelling chocolate gumdrops, and I've rolled them in sugar to make them look more realistic. Now onto that big giant bit of cake that I told you about. This cake was huge. I couldn't believe how many layers of cake it actually took to build this base, but yeah, there was a whole lot. Here I am adding some modelling, some ganache onto it, some white chocolate ganache. The other thing about this cake was that it was going to be eaten, so I needed to make sure that everything was fresh and sanitary and delicious. So I had to work really, really fast as you possibly can, which isn't easy when you're working on something of this size. So once I had it all carved and ganached, I added on a layer of modelling chocolate to seal in that freshness, and because it looks nice and smooth. And then I made some little cake presents. This was really satisfying because they were square and I'd made the ganache edges really smooth, so when you put that on, oh, just look at that, it's really satisfying. And then I cut down the side as well. I made a few of these little gifts to go underneath our Christmas tree. Then I set everything up on top of the snow globe, a little chair which was not made from cake, but you know, you'll know why in a second. And there it is, a ridiculously big snow globe cake, which I am really, really proud of. I think that we did a really good job. Oh yeah, did I mention that my kids had to get into the snow globe, and also that it had to actually snow? So each one of those little snowflakes you can see in there are hand-punched, single hand-punched snowflakes made out of rice paper. So yes, you could eat them. As you can see, there's my kids eating them. And then I also made them a little mini snow globe to open up to remind them of this amazing Christmas. I hope you like it. Thanks, guys.